Okay, there we go. I invited some people. Hey, hey, family. We are family, Niecy. I call all my cousins aunts and uncles, and their cousins my cousins. So we family. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining. Hi, hi, hi. So I'm a little late because I'm super busy. We're dead in the middle of track season, and practice ran a little late. And last week I canceled because it was my son's the day before my son's birthday, so we were celebrating that, and so I missed you guys. I did not want to cancel again, so thank you for allowing me to be a little late. And I appreciate your patience with me just through everything. All of the support that I get is so meaningful. Hey, Maya. I'm good. How are you? Good, I hope. But yeah, I got an interesting show planned today. The title of it is I'm encouraging you to not trap yourself inside your pain. So just like every other week, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself and a little bit about what I've overcome, and then kind of tie that to maybe how you can overcome and sort of what's going on inside our own community, the Black community, and even the world a little bit. We'll see how far my mind goes. With my notes, I was like all over the place because I'm really passionate about this, but hopefully I can stay on track. Hopefully I will help somebody because this is my jam. Like, I really love just encouraging people to sort of get over things. And I don't know, probably because I've been through so much myself. And I've been able to come out of so many things myself that I feel like I can teach or at least encourage other people how to do that. I know people like to listen to gurus and invest in all of these types of self-help books and things, and it's a multi-million-dollar industry on how to help people get over things, and people are making money and capitalizing off the very thing that I want to do passionately. Also with counseling, I got to a point in grad school where I was like, I don't really want to do this. I don't want to be a counselor in charge for what I feel should be free. And that's no disrespect to people who are counselors, or because I'm still a mental health professional, I still get paid to help people. But just as far as being a counselor or a therapist, a lot of it is set up for you to come back again. And I want to help people so they don't need me anymore. Sort of like Nanny McPhee. If you've seen that movie, Nanny McPhee, and how she says, when you don't want me around, that's when you need me. And then when you eventually start to want me around, that's when I'll go away because you don't need me anymore. So I just want to give people tools to get over things themselves. And Maya, hey, thank you for the comment. You said you literally just got off the phone with your friend talking about how to push through pain. So this is the show for you, because we are going to talk about how we trap ourselves in our pain. So I am the type of person, I'm going to be transparent, and let me talk about a toxic trait that I have. I'm very rigid, and people who really know me will know this to be true. I don't do a lot of bending. I don't do a lot of twisting and moving. And that's a good thing when you need to depend on me. I'm pretty consistent. You know how I'm going to react to things. You know, if you call me, I'll be there. Those types of things are good to be rigid on. But when it comes to pain, when it comes to people hurting me, once you kind of show me who you are, I don't go back. There's no back and forth with me. It's kind of like, danger zone, and it will never be the same. And I don't like that about myself, because the first point I want to make is sometimes when we trap ourselves in our pain or behind those walls that we think are for protection, we're really blocking our blessings from others, because people can change. People do grow. And just because someone has hurt you before, Doesn't mean that they're going to continue to do that. Let me put it in perspective of a marriage. If you start out your marriage and you have some rocky points, and you put those walls up, and then you may have your husband or wife who is clearly changing in front of you, changing for you. If you don't respond positively to those changes, they're not going to continue to try to make those changes for you. So because you have this wall up of pain, and you're thinking, okay, I'm protecting myself from this person because that's who they are, that may not be who they are anymore. We do have to give people space, an allowance to change. So I wanted to put that out there before I go too far talking about pain and trapping ourselves. I wanted to offer a fresh perspective, even maybe not a marriage, even with your baby daddy. Those of you out there who have baby daddies, I had my son when I was 18 years old. We were very young. So obviously my child's father is not the same 18-year-old that he was back then, nor am I. So if I was allowed to grow and change in my parenthood, so was he. So when he started to become the father that he is, he's a wonderful father, and we co-parent very well, but that is only possible because I allowed him space to do that. If I treated him like the person who, okay, we didn't stay together, if I let that pain lead, or how sometimes you can become resentful because one parent may be able to live their life and the custodial parent is centered, their life is centered around that child. That kind of breeds resentment. If I let that pain lead, there are so many examples of pain in that type of relationship. But if I had let that pain take the lead, we never would have gotten to where we are for our child in this space here in 2019. So I just wanted to put that out there. If you have somebody in your life that's actively trying with you, that's making change, I mean stuff you can see. I'm not saying go ahead and give everybody a pass just because they say they're going to change. But those people in our lives who are giving us that effort that we ask for, we need to allow them to do that. So don't trap yourself in your pain because you could be blocking your blessing. And there are some of you who probably can relate to that. And I can just end the conversation right now because that's enough. That's a nugget right there. Especially as women. Women, we get so rigid because we do take on so much. We give so many people chance after chance after chance, and then we're just done with them. And that's just it. And that's just over. But I do want to encourage you again, if you have somebody who is actively trying to change, allow them space to do that. Because one thing I had to tell myself is, even though the situation may have not changed, this person, I may allow this person back into my life, or I may allow this person back into the lane that I let them out of, and they may not have changed. And that kind of sometimes feels like a risk, because if you fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, shame on me. Women especially keep that mentality, like, you're not going to get this over. I'm forgiving you already. We're done. But even though they may not have changed, you have. You're more experienced now. You're more resilient. It could be if you're going through a divorce, like I said before, it could be in your marriage. You have grown and changed. It could be a co-parenting relationship where you may be allowing your child's father or mother, if you're watching in your male, to change, and maybe they haven't. I want you to keep yourself open to the possibility of other people's changing. And know that even if they have not changed, you're different. You're much stronger now. It doesn't matter what they do or don't do, because you're capable of pushing forward. This is good for people who are afraid to love again. It may not be that same person that you're giving a chance. Maybe it's love that you don't want to give a chance because you've been let down in love before and it hasn't worked, maybe over and over again. What did you learn from those experiences? Maybe you can't pinpoint that, but I know one thing that you did take out of that experience is you know for a fact that you can survive a broken heart. If you're watching the show right now and you're not dead, I don't think anybody's watching from heaven. You're not dead. So that means you can survive a broken heart. You can love again. There is nothing about pain that should trap you. Sometimes we give our pain way too much power. We give those negative experiences the driver's seat. And then we live our lives, we shape our lives based on who hurt us, or who did or didn't do these things for us, or who treated us poorly as a child. And now I'm an adult and I'm still living my life based on things that happened as a child. Let that go. I know that's easier said than done. I'm definitely going to share a tip, a tool for you guys to Google. Just like every show, I'm going to give some tips for you guys to Google to sort of maybe break free from that. But again, there's nothing painful that can happen in your life that should trap you. There's nothing, like I said, whether it be a divorce, whether it be your baby daddy left you and had a child with somebody else, somebody cheating on you, a job you lost, a friend you've lost. There is nothing about those experiences that deserves that much credit in your life for you to trap yourself behind that. And now you're walking around in your daily life, in your daily interactions with people that could be a blessing to you, but you're so closed off. You're so closed off to them because of what happened in your past. And that's what I mean by trapping yourself. You trap yourself in your pain. And you think you've let things go because you're guarding yourself from that. But you really haven't let it go. If you're, there's one thing about being cautious, but if you literally have certain walls up when it comes to people, certain places or things, you're really not over that pain. You really haven't healed it. It's still open. You may have put a Band-Aid over a place that actually needs stitches. So you really got to get in there and you got to do the work to pull out something healthy on the other side. And again, I'm just trying to encourage somebody. I'm not judging anybody for living behind those walls, because I have lived behind walls most of my life. It took me a very long time to get to the root of why I was so damaged when people left me. I had abandonment issues. Like, it really meant a lot to me when people chose to not be around me anymore. Like, it would just wreck me to the point where it was unhealthy. And so I chose to heal a very important relationship in my life, which is the one with my mom. I felt so unworthy because in my mind, if my own mom didn't stay with me as a child, to stay there and raise me and do the things that you think moms should do, if she didn't do that, I felt unworthy of other people giving me a significant relationship. So what happened when I found myself paired with friends, family members, boyfriends especially, I attached. And I would jump through any hoop that was set, because I felt like if I was difficult, if I went against the grain, if I said things that made me happy, if I set my own boundaries, they wouldn't want to be around me anymore. I didn't want to give anybody any type of reason to not want to be around me anymore. And that's sick. I was perfect. I was the perfect friend. I was a good sister. I was good to everybody just because I was afraid that they would leave me. And that's, of course, you want to be good to people, but baby, don't be out here being good to people because you're afraid that they will leave you, because everybody deserves an equal return. I deserve things that make me feel good too. I deserve to be able to set healthy and appropriate boundaries for myself also. So that's what I'm saying. I had to heal that thing so that I could really have a true relationship, a true balance, a true exchange of mutual love and respect. So I say all that to say this. You've got to break through your pain. Those walls that you have up is not true healing. You're scared. And it's okay to be scared. Like I said before, maybe it's love that you don't want to let in. Or maybe it's a relationship, if you're in a marriage right now and that person has hurt you. Or maybe you've been the person who has done the hurting, and you can see how this person is not letting you back in. That's causing more pain, because now you feel exhausted with trying to change. Now you're the one jumping through hoops and it's just not working. And so I just want to encourage everybody out there to bust through those traps, because I'm speaking from experience. I am hot or cold. Once I'm on, I'm on. I love you 100%. I'm in it to win it. And then once I get a little signal about something that I should be cautious about, if you're hurting me, if you're causing me pain, I immediately retreat back into that corner. I just want to fall away. I just want to disappear. And a lot of people may view that as mean or, like I said, cold, but it's not really about that. It was all about protecting myself. And I had to realize something about me. I like me. Once I fell in love with myself, this is my third point. Once you fall in love with yourself, once you learn to love and trust yourself so much, you will know that the way people treat you is all about them and has very little to do with you. If your intentions are pure, I changed that wanting to be good to people so that they wouldn't leave me into, I'm going to be good to you. And regardless of the fact, if you choose to leave me, you can leave or stay. That's up to you. But if you leave me, I will then know it's because you wanted to. It's not because of anything that I've done, because I choose to be good. I choose to give to things that also give back to me. I know how to set boundaries. I'm still a good person. I'm still the same Aaliyah, but the mentality is different. It's not coming from a place of weakness. Now it's coming from a place of strength. Like, I really choose to be good to people. I wake up with the intention of wanting to help people. I go to work every day as a social worker. I'm a mom. You guys know that. I'm a wife. And most of my life is centered around serving other people. And that makes me feel good. But when it comes to my friendships, my relationships with family, I'm still choosing to be good, because when you walk away from me, I'll know, okay, that was you, and fuck it. I'm sorry. I mean, I've lost a lot of people over the past year and a half, and I just had to convince myself that that was them and not me, because you can internalize those things, those negative signals and negative signs and feedback that you're getting from people, and it will become your self-image. So again, don't trap yourself in that. You guys are pretty quiet. I don't know if it's because you're listening and agreeing. But again, I just want to encourage you all to not trap yourself inside of that pain. I was at the hair salon. Shout out to Charming Creations Hair Salon. I was there and I had a woman ask me if a friend that I had lost came back into my life and asked for forgiveness. Could we pick up where we left off? And I was like, no, of course not. No. And it wasn't because I had not healed from that situation. It was because I know for a fact that I had been so good to that friend, and for them to do the things that they did, there was no excuse for that. And that's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to point out to you guys, that if you're going to be good, if you're going to be good to people, make sure it's for that reason and that reason only. Make sure it serves you. That reason serves me. It serves me to know that I am a good wife. I am a good friend. I am a good sister, because I want to be, because I need that. Because before, the old me, like I said, if you walked away from me, I would blame myself anyway. So I needed to take power. I needed to take control in that. Even in my co-parenting relationship, I don't bother him. I'm good to him. Not even necessarily because maybe he deserves it, or maybe, it's all about me. It starts and ends with you, with your mindset. I had to let go of that painful thought process that I had surrounding those abandonment issues without changing myself. I'm not saying you got to go out and become a bitch. I'm not a bitch. Anybody that knows me knows that I find it very hard to be mean. But I ain't nobody bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a bitch, but I ain't nobody bitch either. Like, you're not finna be running over me. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how you gotta look at it. Like, you can be nice and kind to others and live your life as freely. You can be open to those positive relationships. You can not be so afraid to the point that you're living behind your pain, but you can also know, okay, my pain has taught me something. And like I said before, I'm different. I'm a different person. I'm not the pushover that I was before. You're not going to run over me. I can still set appropriate boundaries and be nice, because before I thought it was an either or. I thought either you were just wonderfully nice and serving everybody like, Mary Poppins, or if you set boundaries, you're a bitch and people will leave you. That's literally what I thought. I thought in that black and white. But things are not that black and white. We all deserve, like I said, a mutual exchange of both love and respect. And the only way you're going to get that is setting boundaries with people. So, with that being said, I was in Charming Creation shop having this conversation, and I said no, I would never be friends with this person again because the way that they treated me was uncalled for. And that's okay. That's okay. So again, don't be run over. Speaking of Charming Creation shop, it's time for my commercial. Shout out to Jackie Goldsmith and all of the other stylists at Charming Creation shop. Nappy Kitchen is currently sponsoring a raffle for $2. Excuse me. I do one every month. So this month is $2. The tickets are $2. For only $2, you can be entered in a chance to win $50 off of services from Jackie Goldsmith. And she is the truth. Please, please, please look her up. Quick weaves, sew-ins, blowouts, all of that. I mean, she is amazing. Check out her work. Charming Creations Lounge. It's amazing. And it's there's a vibe in that building. It's just a healing vibe. So shout out to them. And if you want me to shout out your black-owned business or project or book or blog or whatever, just shoot me an inbox. I definitely will support that. So, oh, hey, Raven. Raven says, my life has been so much better since I set boundaries. Thank you for saying that, because this show is all about not trapping yourself in your pain. I'm going to give you a tool. If you've heard of it, great. Take it again. If you haven't heard of it, I want you to go and take this test. It's called the Myers-Briggs test, and that's Meyer, M-E-Y-E-R-S. Myers-Briggs. Briggs, B-R-I-G-G-S. So, I have a mental health background, and while I talk very casually on this show, your girl is professional, and I know my stuff. And Nappy Kitchen is all about breaking the stigma around mental health in the black community. And these are things that we don't talk about. So I want you to take this test so that, hey, Chasta, my love. Thank you for joining us. So I want you to take this test, and I want you to answer the questions honestly, because it's not going to work if you're not honest. And so there are shorter versions out there on the internet. So just Google one, take it. Myers-Briggs. The smart people in the world of psychology and mental health feel like there are only 16 personality types. Now, I know you think there's billions of people in the world, babies born every day. How the hell is there only 16 personality types? I had that problem too. But when I took the test and sort of saw how they broke it down, it kind of made sense. So from these 16 personality types, if you know who and what you are, you will then be able to interact with other people better. And I have always said that. Always, always, always said that. You have to know yourself. I feel like a happy life comes from knowing God and yourself. And I don't mean God, my God. My God doesn't have to be your God. I know that people have different religious views, but I feel like there is a supreme being, a higher power, regardless of what religion you call it, whether you're Christian, Baptist, Lutheran, Buddhist. You can live on the other side of the world. I do feel like there is a supreme power that governs over us, and I choose to call that power God. I believe in God, and I feel like God is within all of us, because, I mean, how can you say that you're made in his image without looking in the mirror and feeling connected to him. You or her, you should feel connected to that supreme being. And so if you know God, you should then know yourself. Because if you're made in his image, you can't really know God if you don't know yourself. And so that's why I preach mental health so much. You have to know yourself. With that being said, take the test for yourself, but also take it for other people. Because once you know yourself, you know what type of boundaries to set. You'll know who you're dealing with. You'll be able to pinpoint those characteristics in other people. I think it's great for couples to take this together. If you're dating, say it's the second week of dating, hey, let's do this together. Talk about it. Even if you're in your 20th year of marriage, hey, let's do this. Let's talk about it. Myers-Briggs. And Raven says that she's an ESTJ. So there's 4 letters. If you see Raven's comment right there, she just posted 4 letters for her personality type. And those letters are broken down. When you take the test, you'll see. And I am an ISFJ. And so my 2 letters that I'm most identified with is the I. I'm introverted. Most people don't believe that I'm an introvert, but I am an introvert because of what I was talking about earlier. I have lived most of my life trapped within my pain. So when you do see me out, if I'm singing or dancing or doing something like this, things like this is hard for me. That's why I said, oh my gosh, you guys are quiet. Because when you guys are quiet, it makes me nervous because I'm naturally an introvert. And also my F, I'm a feeler. One of the if you Google ISFJ personality, those of you that know me will be like, oh my God, that really is her. And social work is one of the main jobs that's recommended for those types of people. And that's what I'm doing. I feel like I'm operating within my purpose. It's in line with everything that I am, which is what makes me feel like I can give to other people. And if I had continued to live my life trapped in that pain, I wouldn't be able to help people, which is my last point for the show. I definitely want you to break out of that pain because the world needs you. The world needs your story. The world needs the things that you've been through. The world needs your wisdom. Wisdom comes from pain. I believe that. You may not believe that. Some people think people are born with wisdom. But I want to point something out. All of these gurus that people listen to, all of these self-help books that people buy, those people have been through a lot. I have been through a lot. I have almost died. I've hit rock bottom. Those are the people that we should listen to. Some people have easy lives. Some people, you might have a difficult experience, but there are those of us who fortunately don't really go through anything. And I'm not saying you can't ever be a guru or a blessing to somebody, but I feel like those people, similar to the stories you read, if you read the Bible, those people are out, down and out, trapped in caves and in the den with lions and out there dealing with floods. There are people around us who are literally dealing with floods and trapped in dens with lions and have broken through that. And they're able to bless us with their stories. So just like you read the Bible, I'm telling you, every day there are prophets among us. There are people who can deliver a ministry to us. And it might be you. I feel like I'm living in my purpose just by encouraging somebody to break out of their pain, because you might be the blessing. You guys listening to me, I might not be blessing you right now, but there might be somebody listening who's taking notes and saying, you know what, she's right, let me break through. And you might decide to write that book or write that song or go ahead and rent out that building or go ahead and go back to school so that you can operate in your purpose. Do whatever it is that's on your heart, because the world is literally waiting for that. And you're living trapped in your pain because you've been rejected before, or someone's told you no, or someone said that's not a good idea, or you're afraid to love again, so you don't want to get out there and date. Your husband could be waiting on you. You don't know who's waiting on your gift. You're a blessing. Each and every one of you is a blessing. And you need to break down those walls that have you trapped, whether it's fear of judgment, fear of abandonment, because when you live in your purpose, people are going to leave you. I'll tell you that right now. You're going to lose a lot. I know we share the meme all the time, but it's really true. The life you want will cost you everything, really. You're going to have to break down a lot of those walls. But go ahead and do it. What are you waiting for? It's a beautiful thing. I'm telling you now, Nappy Kitchen may not be that popular, but it's very therapeutic. It's therapeutic for me. I'm breaking down my own walls, and I get inboxes every week from somebody that I help. And if I get one inbox a day, that's enough for me. That's enough. I may never be famous. That might not be the design of it. But you right there, yes, you might be the one who's famous because you've been sitting on something. I say this every week. The world needs your magic. So go ahead and break free. What did we learn today? We learned not to be trapped in our pain in a negative way. Stop living behind those untruths. That is not your truth. If somebody hurt you before, you do not have to continue to let that pain take the driver's seat. Period. Let it go. Be free. And the reason that you can be free from your pain is because the only thing your pain has gifted you with is the actual fact that you can survive it. That's the only thing you need to take from a painful experience, is that you can survive it. So you don't need to be scared because, like I said, you're watching this right now. So I know that you have either already survived what you've been through or are currently surviving what you're going through. So that fear is unnecessary. And then number 3, I want you to do that test. Take a tool. Get to know yourself. Get to know the people around you. Take that tool and really use it. Utilize it. Learn your personality type. So again, you're not trapped behind these walls that you set up for yourself or that others try to set up for you. Because once you know who you are, nobody else can tell you who you are. Once you really know that. And lastly,